Hey, what's up guys? This is Jeff with Gamestork, and did Capcom really say that they were basing their entire support of the Nintendo Switch on the sales of a 20-year-old game? Let's look at this.
Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby.
So it looks like the internet running around freaking out essentially about the lack of support from Capcom if Street Fighter doesn't sell well really was just a mistranslation, or should I say poor translation, from Japanese to English. For anyone who has studied Japanese, you know that there is not word for word translations of what people are saying. So it's very easy to misconstrue or apply words that are wrong in places where you're just, I guess, not aware, to imply something that maybe they weren't implying. So looking at this, if you see this image, this is a better breakdown of what was being said. So I'm going to read this off to you just in case. It might be small writing on here. A breakdown of the Japanese for those who are curious. Culture ways of saying stuff always plays a role and is why that translation doesn't work. What they said first literally is Capcom is continuing to do fundamental research since we strive to have company structure where we can release a game on any platform. Just is a fancy way to say as a company can handle it or built to deal with it. He's saying so that we can, and that's, you know, obviously I don't know that word. I did take Japanese in college. I took 2 semesters, but I'm also 2 years removed from that, and if you don't use it, you lose it, and now I know very few things. Anyway, so the breakdown of this next word, it says mean aims to, but that makes it sound like they can't yet do it. This way is very corporate, but just means this is who we are and what we try to do. So it just translates as we aim to release games on all platforms. Now the point here is really on this word. They are just trying to say that they are and continue to do R&D. So they're not saying that they can't. I'm sorry I can't say these words, because the one thing I did not learn is kanji. I did learn katakana, and I also learned hiragana, but I did not learn those symbols, so I can't read those to you. And you know, you'll just have to deal. It's okay. But the information's still here. Literally, as for the Switch as well, we have Street Fighter 2 releasing in May, so we'll keep an eye on the condition as we think about how to deal with the Switch. This just means as for the Switch, but in a way that groups it with all previous platforms. aka the Switch is like any other platform when it comes to them working on it now. They are just commenting on the Switch directly. So just to conclude this, you guys can read the rest of this if you like, and I'll also put a link in the comments. I'm sorry. Capcom is just saying overall we're still thinking about the best way to utilize the Switch, and hey, don't forget we got Street Fighter 2 coming out in May as well for it. It's not a serious comment into looking at the performance, just a recognition that they have a game launching and they'll make sure to learn from it as they come up with plans and ideas of how to best utilize the Switch. And guess what? This is what they're doing. You know, this article, I actually did a video today. Most of you guys who are watching this probably watched it. And it's reporting on a set of articles that I found from March. And it was actually interviews where Capcom talked about them optimizing Resident Evil 7 to go on the Nintendo Switch. And there's always going to be naysayers on this stuff, but the fact is they did originally push Nintendo to go with 4 gigabytes of RAM. I'm super happy about that. We know that that's a fact. But why did they do that? Because from the conception of this system, they wanted Resident Evil on that console. Their intent is there, and the fact is they alluded, due to the language that they did use in that interview, that they already had this running in some capacity, which I believe is dock mode. That's my belief, okay? And just like any third party, same goes with all these games, all the third party support, they're going to have to learn, and there is a way. And that's why Nintendo has a team of people hired to help these companies do this. They're going to have to come up with a way to run their games in the low power mode, which is the portable mode. And it is possible, it will be done, and it's just a matter of getting there because this is a new console. But you can expect that if they say, hey, it takes 4 gigabytes of RAM to run this thing, and guess what, the Switch's power is not a problem, it's not an issue, that means the game's running on there. Okay? If they're saying, yes, we're optimizing this, the Switch is powerful enough, but we're optimizing for the low power mode and handheld mode. That means it can do it. Anyway, enough on that. This is an update on... Back to this statement. Guys, don't freak out. Don't freak out about this. I said this in a comment earlier. It would be absolutely stupid of a company. And Capcom's a really good company that's really good at marketing. And it would be absolutely dumb for them to come out and say, you know what, we're going to overprice a 20-year-old game that has guys we call new characters who are really just more tan and have better, you know, different color clothes, and maybe they're a little bit faster, whatever. But, you know, we're going to sell this thing for $40, and if it doesn't do well, we're done. You know, they're not doing that. That's not what they're doing. So don't worry. This has officially straightened this up. Be sure to look at this in the link. Go read it all for yourself, because I did skip some. But it's a really good breakdown of what this is. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm glad you came here for this update. Now you don't have to freak out. Capcom is on board with the Nintendo Switch. No worries. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm so proud of our community of gamers that are growing. I love each and every video's comment section. There's such great conversations there, and it really just warms my heart that you guys are subscribed. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Hey, what's up?